How was your experience in India?
So far, I've been loving it. I've been really enjoying it.
Your energy also very high.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. Love yoga and this kind of stuff.
Tell me something about opera. And
Sure. So, you know, there's different musical styles, right?
Yeah.
So, it's really about, you have to soar like an eagle with the bride and groom, with the wedding, which was really nice, and the fire and the rice and the all the different things that the heads coming together, and all of this is different, right? I'm sure.
Historical background. Rajasthan is very important for India. There is many kingdoms in Rajasthan. You like Rajasthan?
I love it, and I got to see one of the palaces, which was very beautiful.
ज्योत्सना जी की तो ज्योति निरंतर प्रज्वलित रहती है मेरे साथ। ये ज्योति न्यूयॉर्क में भी जल गई, की तो ज्योति निरंतर प्रज्वलित रहती है मेरे साथ। ये ज्योति न्यूयॉर्क में भी जल गई। न्यूयॉर्क से हमारे दोस्त, हमारे मित्र Raymond ji आए हैं। So Raymond, how you are feeling here?
Good.
Good.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
Right.
Yes, I enjoy all the treatments.
All treatments, all therapies. Do this. Surya Namaskar. One. Come here. Like this. तो ये आज हम पूरा पहले तो एक नॉर्मल वर्कआउट जो बहुत जरूरी है इन राइट लेग एंड you lost your weight some and you gained some flexibility.
Yes.
Very good.
A lot of flexibility.
Lot of flexibility and happiness.
And happiness. Most importantly.
बहुत important. तो ये जिंदगी जीने का सलीका है योग। और ये हमारे न्यूयॉर्क से रेमंड जी आए। Who sent you here?
Friends, I came for an Indian wedding.
Oh, through Indian fans you came
Indian
here.
fans, and they recommend me to come in.
Oh, very good. You are doing very well.
Yes, thank you.
Hello everyone. Today our guest is Raymond. He is from USA. He is an opera singer. Today we will get to know about opera and his travel experiences in India, and also talking about misconception about India. So watch it. How was your experience in India?
So far, I've been loving it. I've been really enjoying it. It's been amazing too, because I've feel like I'm getting the real official experience, not necessarily just a tourist. Because I'm meeting the locals, you know.
What is the best part of India you feel in your journey?
Well, you know, I feel that anywhere you go, right, there's experience, there's an energy with different parts, right, of the country. India for me is very explosive, right? It's calm and it's very noisy. So it's like a meteor, comet, right? So I like how vibrant everything is. There is an energy to the people that's very vibrant, very explosive. For
your
me,
energy also very high.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
I can feel.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you.
Where did you buy this?
These glasses.
I like it.
Yeah. Thank you, Adhiraj. This is from. So you know, part of my experience with what I do now is about expression, self-expression. For a lot of people, is very scary and intimidating. So I really like color, I really like expression, which I think is very Indian in some ways, right? All the beautiful colors. So this is from a really amazing artist from Cameroon, Africa, but she's based in Brooklyn, in New York City. So they're for fun, expression, this kind of So I like them.
What is the major difference between US and India?
I feel the major difference between India and the US is the mindset. I feel that, of course, it's two different cultures. I feel in the US, people are very about work and this kind of stuff, which is good. It has its place, but sometimes they can get stuck in the mind and get too heady and too focused on things and stressed. And in India, I really feel that there is just this mentality of like go with the flow. Right? Like the one of the tuk-tuk drivers when I was in Udaipur was talking about what is worry? Like what do you have to worry? When you're alive, you're alive. When you're dead, you're dead. Like there is a simplicity to India, which I think is really beautiful. And there's definitely things that both cultures can learn and that, but I really feel for me that simplicity, that really coming back to the simplicity and getting out of the mindset has been really beautiful.
Tell me something about yourself.
Myself? So let's see, I am a singer. I am a professional opera singer, actually. That I, started my career traveling around singing opera, and now I actually do a lot of meditation. I'm a holistic practitioner, teacher, working with chakras and things like this. So that's what I do now, traveling with the music, and that's also what has brought, for me, a lot of interest with India, because I love yoga and this kind of stuff.
Tell me something about opera.
Sure. So, there's different musical styles, right? So you have hip hop, you have rap, you have country. Opera is connected to classical music. And what makes it special is a lot of times with opera, you don't use the microphone, right? So you have to learn to project your voice with a whole orchestra, right? With violins, with violas, with bass, with cello. And that's something that's really, really cool with the opera. So with opera, what's very special in particular with that is figuring out how to project your voice without using a microphone. So for example, in a yoga class, right, they will sometimes say Om or this, Om, like this kind of, this is kind of around this area. You're not necessarily concerned about projecting all the way through the big amphitheater. And in America, a lot of the musical houses, for example, the Metropolitan Opera House in New York City, it's very big. You have to project. So just giving you an example of the opera, this is a phrase from an Italian art song called Amarili mia bella, right? So you have the Om, right? It's very close to me. But if I Amarili mia bella, it's really about, you have to soar like an eagle over the audience and really learn how to project your voice. So that's something very special with your opera.
Voice is very nice.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
When did you start opera?
So I actually started singing when my mother was sick with cancer when I was young, and I didn't know what it was. It was a way for me to process grief. And then there was a teacher, a musical teacher, who is now a doctor, Dr. Jones, that really cultivated the talent and had somebody hear me, and then I auditioned to a school, a well-known school in Miami, and from that I sent a tape and started to go like that. So it started, I would say, around music, you know, was always something I did, but the opera was something, honestly, that I fell into out of people saying, wow, you can really project your voice, you could sing opera, because it's not easy to, you have to really, you know, the anatomy of it is really lowering the larynx. So because if I just, right, that's not going to travel. Yeah. But it's almost like in German, they call it Sprechstimme, right? Yeah. It's like speak song. It's like if you're on the other side of the road and you're saying, hey, hey, right? Yeah. Hey, hey. This kind of opening to this, you know? Yeah.
How long in India?
So I've been here, I had my flight April 11th. Yeah. And you know, India is not close to the US. So it was like I was lucky to be on a non-stop flight, which was about 14 hours. Yeah. And I flew from New York City to Delhi. Yeah. And I'm going to be going back on May 2nd. Yeah. So I have, you know, about 3 weeks, which is really exciting. I came, something that was very exciting was I'm being a part of an Indian wedding, which, you know, in America you hear the Indian weddings are something very special and very, something not to be missed if you get the opportunity. So I was fortunate. That was one of the reasons to come, and then to travel because of the yoga and the energy work that I do. I'm going to be exploring some holy sacred places, Rishikesh, Haridwar, this kind of stuff as well.
How was your experience in wedding?
So fun. So it was you know, this is something too. There's, for me, different kinds of people. Yeah. There's people that either you're gonna jump into the culture, and it's like I almost compare it to like skydiving, which I actually have had the opportunity to do. You just trust and you jump, or other people that are too afraid to, and they're not gonna jump out the plane, right? Yeah. So I was so fortunate to have this experience, and I wanted to experience the whole thing. So for me, the family, the culture, meeting, you know, the groom of the wedding is Indian, right? So he had so many family, cousins, aunts, uncles, and they invite me to the house, and the funny grandma that tells me I'm too red, that she's never seen someone so red, and telling me I eat too many apples, which I think is hysterical, you know? Yeah. And then the family feeding me all the different foods and the spices. It was fantastic. Yeah.
You like it?
Love it.
Love it.
Yes. Love it. Yeah.
How was the Indian food?
I love Indian food. So Indian food is, I'm fortunate that in New York City, which is, you know, has been my home for the last 17 years, that I get to experience different foods, right? Yeah. Indian has always been one of my foods that I really enjoy. It's very different here, you know. It's, I think, Americanized Indian food is less spicy, sometimes more sweet. Yeah. And here there's a bit of more spice in everything. You know.
You like it spicy?
I do. Yes. Yeah. You also have to get used to it, for sure. Yeah. Maybe this is why I'm so red.
I want to ask a question. Tell me about difference between Indian wedding and US wedding.
So the Indian wedding is definitely longer than the US wedding. Depending, you know, and this something too, there's, you know, sometimes with the US, some people are close with the families, sometimes they're not. The Indian wedding, it's like, it seems like you have no choice. The crazy auntie and this wild uncle and this one, everyone's coming, you know, it's like 600, 700, 800 people, right? Like for me, a lot of times, popular example that I use is like a Catholic wedding, right? Yeah. Usually the priest comes, they say the vows, do you take the bride, the groom, blah, blah, blah. And then you have the celebration after, right? Yeah. The Indian wedding, there's a lot of different processes, different days, right? So I was fortunate, I got the henna, which was really, really fun to do. The henna, which, you know, is really cool, and just these kind of different experiences going up. So it's not so much just one and done, right? There's a lot of processes. They have the priest, right? Or different Christian beliefs, they have pastor. What's the name you use for
Pandit?
How do you?
Pandit.
Pandit?
Yeah.
Do I say it correctly?
Pandit.
Pandit?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So that was one of my favorite parts of the wedding because I felt it was very meaningful and it was so different for me. All the colors, I got to participate and
this is called Nal.
Nal? Okay, nice. And so I got to participate with the bride and groom, with the wedding, which was really nice, and the fire and the rice and the all the different things that the heads coming together and all of this is different, right? I'm sure the same for you. If you came to a Catholic wedding, it would be very different, right? So that was one of my favorite parts. The ceremony was one of my favorites. And I was even lucky enough to go after to the house with the bride, putting her feet. So one of my favorite parts was the ceremony itself, because I felt like it was really intimate and there was a lot of things different. And you know, I appreciate that it wasn't just like la 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 la, like just saying words. It felt very sincere, you know, between the bride, the groom. And remind me the name that you call our version of the priest in Catholicism.
Pandit.
Pandit. So the Pandit, and I like all the, you know, the different vows that they say. You promise, you know, that you will check before you buy something, and that you will respect, and all of these things, all the different, you know, it's like anything. It's like a new, I'm sure just the way Western culture is fascinating for Indians, like the Indian culture, the Eastern culture is fascinating for us because it's different, right? So I really liked that. And then the welcoming, my friend and I got invited to go to the house after, you know, and it's late. By this time, it's like almost 1 in the morning, you know, to have the feet in the water, to put the imprint of like welcoming to the house. And that was really beautiful, for sure.
How did you like the food at Indian marriage?
I loved it. And one of the reasons why is I feel sometimes in the Western that vegetarian food or vegan food can be judged as boring or have no flavor, right? A lot of times meat eaters, they think, no flavor, right? But there's so much spices, so much the different paneers, which I love the paneer, and the textures, and the rotis, and all the different sauces and the chutneys. I love trying different things and the flavors. One is smoky, one is spicy, one is sweet, and and the Indians, they put it all in, you know, and it's a boom, like the meteor, like it's like an explosion, you know. And then you have the buttermilk kind of salty lassi, and so this was fantastic, you know. That was a lot of fun, and to try the different kinds of shakes and drinks that was a lot of fun with the wedding.
Are you vegan?
I am not vegan, but I have explored being vegan for some time. I did it for like 120 days, and I have to say I felt really, really good, very clean, and yes.
It is good for body.
Oh yes, yes. I look different as well with it. Yeah.
How many places have you visited in this time?
So even though I've been here less than a week, I've gone to many places. The new and old Delhi. Exploring the forts and the markets, the textiles, which was amazing.
You like Indian market?
Love it. And I like the banter going back and forth, you know, this kind of energy. It's like tennis, you know. I went to Jaipur, Udaipur, saw the beautiful, what was it? The beautiful gardens for the royal family that's now open to the public, which with the fountains was amazing. And I'm trying to remember, is that region all like Rajasthan? Rajasthan? Yeah, so that was fantastic. Saw my goodness, the grandmother of the current king, like a movie star, which I found out apparently she was the first Miss India, which was very interesting. Different places, and I'm gonna be going to Rishikesh and Hardwar to explore yoga.
There is different vibe from city.
Yes.
You feel calm, relaxed.
Yes, I'm excited. Yes.
From historical background, Rajasthan is very important for India. There is many kingdoms in Rajasthan. You like Rajasthan?
I love it. And I got to see one of the palaces, which was very beautiful.
Which palace you like?
Oh gosh, what was the name of the palace that we went to? Amer?
Amer Killa in Jaipur.
Amer, beautiful. And got to and you know, I love learning the different things. So you know, the VIPs came from the sun side, and the other you know, and all of this. Really beautiful.
How India lifestyle is different from American lifestyle?
One thing that I feel, you know, it's like any culture, right? Whether it's India, whether it's US or what, opportunities, right? For people to make something of themselves. When I was in Udaipur, something that I saw that was really cool for me is the tuk-tuk driver was telling me about how, you know, it's like the land of lakes, right? So beautiful, so many lakes. One of the most beautiful parts in India to me is like beautiful gems. It's like the dresses that the women wear, so colorful, so many different gems. And Udaipur is with the lakes, a lot of scenery. I really like that they are giving the opportunity for people now for work to clean the lakes, right? Which is going to bring more opportunity for the people, which is going to help the tourism, which, you know, has this kind of hamster wheel effect, right? And that was something cool to see with that I think, you know, could really help people just having more opportunities across the board.
I want to add something.
Yes.
You have skill.
Yes.
So you can create opportunity.
Yes.
Are you agree?
Yes, absolutely. 100%. I feel that it is a combination of having skill and going to where that skill can be applied, right? And where it can be used for sure. Absolutely.
how are Indian people?
Well,
Yeah.
you know, it's again like this very colorful, very, you know, the one of the tour guides was this older Indian man, and he was kind of like a grumpy grandpa, you know,
Yeah.
and so nice to us. But with the kids, you know, get out the way, move this, move that, you know, it's like very funny to me, and the different personalities. What I like is there's a lot of passion
Yeah.
with the Indian people, and I think it goes across the board with the way they dress, the way the
You like
spices.
Indian culture completely.
Well,
India
from
is
what
very
I've
rich
seen,
in culture.
yes. So I can only speak from being here for 7 days.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen so far, I'm really enjoying it,
Yeah.
and all the different experiences of the people. I really do appreciate it. And I think one of the things I like most of the Indian culture is the heart.
Yeah.
Do you think something better can happen for India?
Well, again, I've been here right for a week, and I feel every culture has beautiful things and different things. That's what it makes them special. Well, something that I'm curious about is a way I would say is with from what I see, I love the family. I love the connection, right, with the Indian family. I'm curious about the privacy, right? Like really giving the people space to have for themselves. That just from what I see now. Granted, I've been with the wedding and all of this stuff. You know, that's something different with the Western culture. You have more of a space, more of a like, okay, I'm gonna have time to kind of express myself in this way, versus having, you know, 50 people kind of monitoring or telling you how you should be. Is something that I think is a different thing. And it's not one is right, not one is wrong, right? It's like apples and oranges, right?
These are different culture.
Exactly.
Would you like to come back in?
Absolutely. I feel India, like America, is so big that it's impossible to explore and capture all of the different gems, right? Kashmir, Udaipur, all of these different places which are so different, right? And to really appreciate a place, I feel like you have to really settle. You can't be rushing through. So, and you know, depending on the weather, right? You know, now that during this time, it's very hot. So, you know, it's the south of India is, you know, that's something that, you know, I've been recommended to go when it's cooler, right?
Sometimes foreigners have stereotypes about India, like hygiene, safety. What would you say about it?
So that's a really good question. I feel it's important when you go anywhere that is not your home, you cannot expect things to be like your way. That's ignorance, right? When you go to a different culture, they're going to have different ways of being, right? Now, India can be hot, right? You know, from my experience in regards to the hygiene, you know, the same way that I travel with the music, not every place, maybe the people are clean. Maybe not everybody uses deodorant, right? The same way in the States, maybe it's more common. But I don't think that's considered unhygienic. I think that's like their way. Just like, you know, France can be like this too, right? You can't expect every place to have hot water or this kind of stuff. This is something that people, I think, that have these luxuries, this is something to be really grateful for, number one. In regards to safety, I can only speak from where I've traveled so far. I felt very safe. And I think if you where your heart is, where the energy that you are being, that's what you're going to attract. If you are, you know, going and you want to experience India and experience the spirituality, the food, that's what you're going to find. If you come, oh, I'm afraid, I'm this, you know, I think maybe you should stay at home until you feel safe to explore different places, because you're not going to really experience the gems of India, right? I think they are playful too, you know? Yeah, so that's what I would say.
If you don't mind, can you sing an Indian song?
If you teach it to me.
Yeah. Gulabi aankhein,
Gulabi aankhein,
jo teri
dekhi,
sarabi ye dil,
sarabi ye dil,
ho gaya.
Gulabi aankhein, jo teri dekhi, sarabi ye dil, ho gaya. Yes?
Yeah.
Yay! Nice.
Can you teach me about opera?
Sure, I can try. So opera, as I mentioned before, is about projecting, right?
Yeah.
So, and this is something that a lot of people are very nervous to speak, to be heard. So with the meditation, the energy work that I do, I help people to align their throat chakra to feel comfortable with the projection, right?
Yeah.
So usually people, when they sing, are quiet like this.
Yeah.
But when you really access through the opera, right? Even me just saying, just making sounds, right? So you find, like in the room right now, I'm looking for the acoustic, right? Ha, 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 ha. So now that I'm finding where the bounce of the acoustics in the wall, ha, 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 it's that projection.
Yeah. It's all about projection.
It's all about projection.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now you can be an opera singer.
I like you.
Thank you so much.
We will see you soon again.
I hope so. I hope so. And until then, namaste.